I have to know, how many of you out there appreciate a great vanilla fragrance? I know I do. I love vanilla. I love it as a dominant note. I love it as a supporting note. No matter what the case is, I love vanilla. And that's what we're talking about today. These fragrances that I wore last week, I mean, a lot of members of the fragrance, within the fragrance community would consider these to be like holy grail vanilla fragrances. So hang tight, stay tuned. We're going to be talking about this list full of vanilla fragrances next. Welcome back, everyone. If you're new here, my name is Dave. This is Cali's Groom Room. This channel is all about grooming and fragrance. If you are into that type of content, I highly encourage you to subscribe to the channel. And while you're there, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future content. Also, hit the like button. Now, I need another huge favor from you guys. Definitely comment below. Let me know what your favorite vanilla fragrances are. Fall of 2022, I do want to launch a vanilla fragrances video featuring the best vanilla fragrances that are out there on the market, and you guys are going to help with that. So I would love it if you would just do me that favor and kind of support the idea here. Also, last week I found out that it was Vanilla Week. So my buddy Dave had posted something in his story. I'll link his Instagram down below. That was encouraging members of the community to wear vanilla fragrances all week. And I thought, hey, I've got enough. What the hell? I'm going to do it. And as I said in the intro, a lot of people in the community would consider some of these options to be like holy grail or the best of vanilla fragrances that are already out there on the market. Let's get into this list. Monday, I decided to grab one of my favorite vanilla fragrances. Also, was the day that we remembered Carlos, Brooklyn fragrance lover, who unfortunately passed away a year ago last Monday. Hard to believe he's gone. Hard to believe it's been a year. He's so well loved in the community, and it was so nice to go through the various Facebook groups and on Instagram and to see so many memories of people sharing and the collaborative videos that people were sharing and things of that nature. And I guarantee you, he was looking down with a smile on his face, just seeing everybody's love for him. But Monday, I pulled out Ani from Nishane. If you know Carlos, he's a big fan of this fragrance, and so am I. I love it. I mean, after all, the guy did turn me on to this fragrance. It's so good. It's so bright in the opening. I believe it's bergamot and there's ginger. So it's kind of this fizzy, sparkly opening, which later transitions into this beautiful, decadent, gorgeous gourmand vanilla with benzoin, with rose. Oh, it's so good. It's so welcoming and inviting. And like I said, it's got that creamy vanilla tone there, sure. This is just such a great, uplifting, bright sort of a vanilla fragrance, And that's why I encourage you guys to pull this out in the summertime when you're in, when you're in the indoors, and temperature controlled environments. This is such a great wear in the summertime. But I just love this fragrance, and yes, you will have people wanting to know what you're wearing. The scent trail is intoxicating, it's alluring, and people just love it. Personally, I love the cozy, kind of comforting vibe that this fragrance gives off. Such a great one. If you haven't checked this one out, I don't know what you're waiting for. This is always, when people talk vanilla fragrances, this is always like top 3, especially 1 or 2 you will see come up a lot when people talk about this fragrance. But Ani, a phenomenal fragrance. If you love vanilla and you haven't checked this one out, you definitely got to try it. It's very, very good. Tuesday came, and Tuesday, I was still reading those posts about Brooklyn fragrance lover and things, and I thought about the house of Tom Ford, so I pulled out Tobacco Vanille. Tobacco Vanille is just great. I've talked about it a bunch this winter. It's a great fragrance. You have this cherry sort of pipe tobacco kind of a feel. You have spices in here like clove. I believe there's cinnamon also in here. You have dried fruits. You have vanilla, of course. I get this like cacao, dusty sort of a vanilla kind of a feel here. So that's the experience that I'm getting. It's a gorgeous fragrance. It's like renowned, and I mean, it was just one of those releases that was so impactful, especially for its time. You think about 2007 was a long time ago, and when you think back to that year and fragrances that were released, there was nothing quite on the market like this. And even though there's a lot of different ways to smell like tobacco vanille, I can confidently tell you nothing hits the same way that tobacco vanille hits. A phenomenal fragrance, one that, yes, absolutely you need to check out. If you love tobacco and vanilla, both as notes, you definitely have to try tobacco vanille. Wednesday I grabbed, now this fragrance here, a lot of people would consider the best vanilla fragrance of all time. I'm gonna talk to you why I only have a decant of this fragrance. I'm talking about Spiritueuse Double Vanille from Guerlain. It is fantastic. It's really good. That opening, kind of like Ani, though they don't smell similar. This has bergamot, so it's bright, fresh in the opening, but very quickly that changes. You have this smoky incense quality going on. You have a booziness in combination with vanilla. You also have a creamy, decadent gourmand style of vanilla. So when I smell this, I'm thinking there's two different types of vanilla. Now, I could be wrong. I didn't look up any notes or anything like that, but there's also some floral ingredients here, perhaps some rose, maybe some sandalwood also thrown in here. This stuff is gorgeous. It's great. It's also very light on my skin. Now, the reason why I have a decant and the reason why I never pulled the trigger on a full bottle, well, for two reasons. First, I wanted to test drive the fragrance to see if it was full bottle worthy. Now, in my opinion, for where I'm at, in my journey and everything, all things considered, this to me is not worth $360. It's just not. The performance on skin isn't really there. It's definitely has the longevity. Doesn't have the projection that I like with this style of fragrance. Having those boozy, incense characteristics, kind of thrown in there. I just wanted a little bit more oomph, out of this one. On my skin, it's not oomphy enough, if that makes sense. Still a great composition. I still like this. If you're on the fence of trying this, my best advice would be sample this or try something like Lune Faline from Atelier des Ors. That is a great smoky, incensey kind of vanilla with that, the gourmand touch of vanilla. Or stay tuned because I have a couple other options that might strike your need if you love that kind of smoky combination of vanilla. This fragrance that I pulled out on Thursday, I can't say enough great things about it. I love it. Possibly one of the best vanillas I've ever put my nose on. Shout out to you, Brenda, if you're watching, for sending me this decant. But this is from the house of Jousset. This is Accident à la Vanille. Yes, it smells like warm sugar cookies with this milky, vanillic, gourmand tone. This is a vanilla gourmand through and through. This stuff is phenomenal. Now, admittedly, I guarantee you that more women would like this than men. However, I love wearing this, especially before bed. I love spraying this on before bed because, like I said in the beginning, I find this fragrance to be very warm, cozy. It's kind of one of those fragrances you just want to snuggle with. Like, if I could just take this and snuggle with it, I would cuddle and snuggle with it. But I just spray it on and cuddle with it and just smell my arm. Man, I seriously, I love the way this fragrance smells. It's so good. It's full bottle worthy. This is one of those situations where a sample is going to turn into a full bottle. I absolutely love this stuff. I can't get enough of it. Love the way it smells. It performs great on my skin. Like I said, spray it on before bed, about an hour before bed, get into bed, wake up the next morning, I could still smell it on my skin. And it's still projecting pretty decent, which gives me the idea it's going to project well for about the first hour and then sit closer to my skin. Longevity on this one is probably going to be right around that 6 to 7 hour mark there. I love this stuff. It's so good. I can't get enough of it. Check it out if you haven't. The House of Jousset. This one is called, it's called Accident à la Vanille. Friday. I can't say enough great things about this house, about this fragrance. Silky Woods, man. Good guy. This stuff is so good. Do you guys own this? Have you tried this yet? Have you sampled it? Oh, spray it. Oh my God, man. This stuff is just, it's so good. It's one of my favorite smoky vanilla fragrances. Honestly, this one and Ani have been competing with my nose for the #1 spot in my collection. I swear to you, I love this fragrance so much. But It's so me. It's got like all of my favorite notes combined into a bottle. You have smoky incense kind of a vibe here. You have tobacco in here. You have oud. So you have that smoked woody facet to the fragrance. You have vanilla. Lots of it. And in the Gourmand family, you know, it's such a great fragrance. I love this one so much. Definitely a good performer, solid performer. It never gets like to that point where it's cloying or choking you out or others around you out. It's not a room filler, but gets you noticed and gets the job done. Whenever I'm in the mood for this scent profile and I want something that's not going to be intrusive or invasive, but I know when I walk by somebody, they are going to get that dense, smoky vanilla, that tobacco type feel within the fragrance, this is going to be the one I'm going to rock 10 times out of 10. Again, when I'm just craving that type of a scent profile. Guys, if you haven't checked out this fragrance yet, you really need to at least try it. Just sample it and see if it's worth getting adding to your collection. Silky Woods from the house of Goldfield and Banks. Next fragrance here, probably no stranger to you, definitely no stranger to this channel. Montale Intense Cafe. This is what I rocked on Saturday. What a great fragrance this is. A hint of coffee, just a little dab of coffee, like a sprinkle, you know. This is all about vanilla and rose. Creamy vanilla, also this heavy cream vanilla. So again, another fragrance that, at least to my nose and what I'm getting, are two different styles of vanilla. Like I said, creamy gourmand touch of vanilla, also in combination with this milky, heavy cream sort of a vanilla feel, rose dominated fragrance. So rose and vanilla, you know, you have to appreciate those two notes. They come together perfectly. This is such a heavenly fragrance. It's such an attention getter. I, again, have not met anybody that dislikes this fragrance to date. Whenever I'm wearing this, somebody always asks me what I'm wearing, whether it be in public, whether it be in the office. This right now is #2 most complimented office fragrance, fragrance that I ever wore into the office. I wouldn't necessarily call this an office fragrance, but if we're talking about complimented office fragrances, this would have to be on the list because people in my office for years have been asking me what I'm wearing when I'm wearing this fragrance. It's just that type of fragrance, you know, head turning and attention getting. So if you love that idea of vanilla and rose together with a drop of coffee, check out Montale Intense Cafe. The last fragrance that we're going to be talking about was actually the first fragrance that I ever owned that contained the note of vanilla. That being Parfums de Marly Herod. What a wonderful fragrance this is. Again, smoky incense, smoky, woody, almost church smoke kind of a vibe going on in here. You know, frankincense, myrrh, that's, you know, what I'm thinking in here. You have dried fruits, tobacco, and that vanilla. The vanilla that's used here to my nose, again, is more of like that dusting, like a vanilla powder almost type of experience, if that makes sense. That's kind of what I experience here. And I think it's because the overall scent profile here is a very dry experience, right? So it's dry, and I think in combination with that vanilla, that's why maybe the vanilla comes across as a bit more dry to me. It's my scent of the day today, by the way. I love this fragrance. One of my all-time favorite tobacco fragrances, one of my all-time favorite vanilla scents. This stuff is just so cozy and comforting and relaxing. It's also very sexy too. I love wearing this one on dates. I love dressing this one up and wearing it into the office. There's something about wearing this fragrance and having a suit on that just makes me feel complete. Like I walk into the office and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm the friggin' man. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of the vibe that I get when I wear this. I guess what I'm trying to say, and probably wouldn't have sounded so arrogant, I could have just said that I'm just very confident feeling when I'm wearing this fragrance. But you know, if you put this one on and you have a suit on, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about when I say you just feel like the man. You feel very confident when you wear this fragrance. Whenever I wear this, that's, you know, just the way I feel. Even right now, wearing a t-shirt and jeans, I feel super confident with this fragrance on, and I just love it. Like I said, my first introduction to a fragrance that contained vanilla just changed the game for me. Absolutely love this one. Herod from Parfums de Marly is my Super Bowl scent of the day. All right, guys, that concludes today's video. Let me know what your thoughts are, you know, on this list of vanilla fragrances. Again, don't forget, I really would love you guys to help me out compile a list, you know, of some of your other favorite vanilla fragrances. So remember to comment those below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and all that good stuff. I will see you guys very soon, but until then, take care of each other, love each other, respect everyone. Also, don't forget to respect yourself. You deserve to be happy, my friend. Take care, guys. I love you. Peace.